Hey, football fans, welcome back to another episode of Lions Latest, the show where we gather around and talk about the greatest team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. I'm your host, Bryan Hanes, and we have some good news and some more stuff to talk about ahead of this game against the Rams. So let's get into the video. But beforehand, if you're not already and you've been enjoying what you've been seeing, please go ahead and hit subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please hit the bell button. We post videos Monday through Friday, all new updates about the Lions every single day, and we'd love for you guys to be here on the road to 2K, so make sure you guys go ahead and do that if you've been liking what you've been seeing. With that being said, though, let's get into the video. Starting off, Brad listened. Oh my god, Brad listened. It's almost like he watched my video. He probably did. I know he didn't. But safety Brian Branch, as we know, suffered an Achilles injury, and he will probably, well, he's going to miss the rest of the 2025 season. The Lions are now signing a veteran defensive back in Damontae Kazi to their club's practice squad. According to this report, the intention is for Detroit to fast track the veteran's elevation to the team's 53-man roster as soon as possible. He's probably going to be one of the starting guys, probably one of the rotating guys. And I'm excited about this one, guys. I don't know if he's going to, go be what he was in his prime, but he definitely has some juice left in the tank, and I'm excited to see what he'll give us. This was something we talked about in the last video. It's cool to see how he's now part of the plan. We're gonna need him if we're gonna need him at his best if we're gonna put up any kind of points against, or well, not put up points, but put up a good fight against the Rams, right? Because we know what kind of challenge they bring us offensively. So we're gonna have to definitely put up everything we got. He stat wise is awesome. In 2025, he hasn't done a lot, but he hasn't done anything. But in his career, he has 363 total tackles, 251 are solo. He's got 8 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 17 interceptions, and his longest return was 33 yards. Yeah, pretty solid guy. Pretty solid guy. Talked a lot about him yesterday. Go watch that video if you want to know more about him. But I think it's just cool that we went and got somebody. Oh my God. So we had a problem. We didn't go, nah, we got the fellas. We went and grabbed somebody because we need help in rotation in depth right now for safety. So well done by the front office. We'll just have to wait and see if he makes any kind of big impact day one. You guys let me know what you think about him, though, and what you think he's going to do for our team. That'll take us into our second topic. So this is probably going to make a lot of you mad at me. And I know why, because you guys are always telling me about pressures, blah, blah, blah. But pressures aren't going to be good enough anymore for us going forward as a team. While pressures are a great stat in the NFL and they force the quarterback to make a quick decision, often helping secondaries, it isn't really good enough for us at this point. Let me explain before you freak out at me. Our secondary is so banged up right now, even though we signed a veteran, whatever. That quarterbacks are still able to make completions and throw touchdown passes despite pressures from guys like Hutch or one of the linemen. Al-Qadim Muhammad turned 3 pressures into sacks, and looked how it helped us win against the Cowboys. Clutch scenarios, forcing 4th and longs, stuff like that, right? Not letting Dak get out and throw a pass. Maybe even if he misses, he doesn't lose all that yardage. Maybe they still go for it on 4th down. Maybe they're in field goal range. Maybe it's a team with a guy like Brandon Aubrey. See what I'm saying? The sacks make the world of difference, and that's obvious. But it's way better than a pressure, and I feel like we have the potential to be getting these sacks, but we're really just not quite there yet. DC Calvin Shepard was even commented on the production and the lack of sacks. He was asked prior to the game against the Cowboys how the team could convert more pressures into sacks. He said, quote, like I said, just finishing. It's a lot of too close, almost happening still in November, going into December, where that absolutely won't be tolerated. Being close isn't good enough, said Shepard. He also said, quote, you have to make that play, and that's coverage and rush. They marry each other. There's no dominant defensive secondary in this league without a good pass rush. There's no good pass rush in this pass rush without some type of coverage happening on the back end. So, yeah, it goes back and forth, obviously, because if you're letting receivers go easy, the ball's going to get off way quicker. There's not going to be a chance for sacks, but I don't know. I feel like we've been able to at least slow down receivers enough this season, despite our secondary issues, for the defensive line to make an impact. And I like what Calvin Shepard says here when he says a lot of too close. I think that really sums it up. Now, I don't think I'm crapping on Hutch right now. For all you Glazers, I'm not I'm not crapping on Hutch. But listen, we're at a point where we need some more absolutes to help an already beaten secondary, and Hutch really just hasn't. While he's been great this season, he hasn't lived up to the standards I think a lot of us wanted. I don't really, and I also really don't want to hear the quote, well, he gets double teamed every single play. Listen, dude is getting paid just as much, if not more, than multiple defensive ends in this league who are still getting double teamed and getting to the quarterback. I'm just saying. And if you're going to say, well, he's not on their level, then why is he getting paid that much? That's my big question, right? I don't want that to be the excuse we're giving these guys. Al-Qadim Muhammad, like if you're going to say, oh, Hutch let Al-Qadim Muhammad get those sacks, no. Al-Qadim Muhammad just beat his guy. Go back and watch the tape. He beat his man twice, just around the backside. I just need to see a little more from Hutch, and I need to see him not getting beat up by tight ends. That was a little hard to watch. I'm just being honest here, guys. Pressures are great, but we've also seen that with sacks in a game, the Lions do incredibly better. It fires up the defense. It gives the defense a little bit of a break in the secondary side. Um, and statistically, we are just better when we have two or more sacks in a game. So that's what I have on that. It's like it's almost obvious. It's like, well, yeah, no crap, Brian. When we get sacks, we're going to be better. But a lot of people have been just happy with the pressures we've been putting on. And while the pressures are fantastic, being a hand length away from grabbing a quarterback and then just missing, it's like we need to finish better. And Calvin Shepard absolutely knows it. So if you don't want to listen to me, know that our defensive coordinator is on the same page and is coaching to finish. And I'm really excited, and I'm excited to see what we'll do against the Rams. If that was a point of emphasis last week and we saw what happened in that game, I want to see what'll happen after we've refined it down a little more, and maybe we get Hutch involved a lot more. That's what I got for that, though. You guys can let me know your opinions. Now, a little bit of good news. So, ever since the Detroit Lions placed second-year offensive lineman Christian Mahogany on IR early last month, the left guard position has just become increasingly more and more of a pain in the butt to deal with over the past few weeks. Coyote Awasika was up next after Mahogany and started off fine, but he kind of quickly became a disaster on the left side of the line. According to Pro Football Focus, Awasika has allowed 10 pressures and 3 sacks in 156 pass blocking snaps in the last 4 games, which is not a good look and doesn't bode well for his future in Detroit, but it also doesn't bode well for our ability to protect Goff right now, especially coming into a huge game against the Rams. According to Dave Burkett from the Detroit Free Press, the Lions head coach Dan Campbell said on Monday that the team will probably activate Mahogany's practice clock this week, but Campbell also cautioned that he doesn't expect the second-year lineman to come back this week. That at least means that if we can beat the Rams, we can hold off against the Rams, we're going to get one of our stronger pieces back on that line. The news from Campbell aligns with what Mahogany told Burkett last week and his target date. When he said that he's hopeful next week, the young lineman also said that he feels good physically. Last week, Awasika was in line to start against the Dallas Cowboys, but then he was suddenly ruled out hours before the game. Awasika's absence then created an opportunity for Tristan Cohen and also rookie Miles Frazier, who I saw his jersey in the mix a few times. He made his NFL debut. The Lions probably didn't expect Frazier to make his debut this last week, but still, he showed some real promise at his limited snaps, great pass protection, and made some great pulls and run blocking. That gives the Lions hope that he could be a quality backup behind Mahogany in the future, if not share reps with him, depending on how Mahogany's pass blocking develops. Because despite his mistakes in pass blocking for Mahogany, he was showing major improvements in run blocking, getting a 73.4 grade and posting a grade of 83.2 or higher in 2 of his last 4 games. So run blocking wise, Mahogany's been great. Pass blocking, not so much. So maybe we can get Frazier to be the pass blocker, and then we just see them learn from each other, or maybe we just rotate them. Who knows? That could give away some plays for sure if we know one guy's pass blocking, one guy's run blocking. But I still think it's good news in terms of the left guard position. One guy's coming back, and one guy who made his debut is showing real promise on our team. He's a rookie. I love to see it. That's great news all around for the left guard position. And that makes me happy because I think the line has been a main concern for Lions fans. So having finally some sort of good news for us, I'll take it. I'll take it as a Lions fan. I don't know. You guys can let me know your opinions on that, though. That'll take us to our fourth and final topic. Just some of your comments. Timothy Diephouse, Timothy Dipehouse says the Rams are going to want to win for Stafford, especially after the way he was greeted in Detroit last year. We have to be great, and they have to be not great. Yeah, you have an absolutely great, fantastic point. Totally eliminate injuries. Totally eliminate players, stats, anything. Pure passion in this game is going to be hard to beat for the Rams. Now, the Rams are in LA sharing a stadium, so it's not like their fans are going to be insanely better than what it's like to be at Ford Field. I don't think that's the case at all. But the Rams, the players themselves, are going to want to win this one for Matt Stafford. You have a great point. We greeted Matt Stafford at Ford Field with not love. So I can only assume that Jared Goff coming back, it's going to get pretty loud in there. There's going to be some pressure on Goff, and we know what happens when there's pressure on Goff. So Goff's going to have to play out of his mind, and hopefully, boding that the left guard situation is getting better, we just protect him better overall. It's like you said, we're gonna have to play really, really good, and they're gonna have to make a couple mistakes, in my opinion. But I think we still have a good chance of winning this game, and we'll just give Jared Goff his three-peat against Matt Stafford. That's what I think. Thank you for your comment, Timothy. Brent DeWitt says, don't care how we get in, just punch a ticket to the dance. Remember, the Giants won a Super Bowl squeaking in as a wild card. I think that's just, I wanted to go over this just because it's like, there's so many people, and I was included for like maybe a week, who thought, pack it up. Like, right. I quickly got myself out of that rut because true fans don't just, give up. But, I mean, man, it was tough. But you have a good point here. The Giants were able to win a Super Bowl in a wild card position. I mean, so like the Super Bowl window closing isn't closed until it's closed, guys. And that's stupid. It sounds stupid, but it's like it's not over till it's over. And right now, it's not over. So don't count us out. We are in a position where we need to win, and I feel like when you back us into a corner like that, some of our stars really, really shine in big time games. So I'm excited to see what we'll do on Sunday. Thank you so much for your comment, Brent DeWitt. With that being said, we are all out of time for today. In this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to this point in the video, tell me what your opinions are on our veteran signing and what you think is going to happen with the left guard in the last few weeks of this season. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss a single video here. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.